So this question reads, the 6 messages on an answering machine were each left by one of Flor, Greta, Hildy, Liam, Pascal, or Theodore, consistent with the following. Okay, so we have our set of variables. We have Flor, Greta, Hildy, Liam, Pascal, or Theodore. And we know we have 6 messages that are going to be on an answering machine. We've definitely got 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now let's get into our rules. Rule number 1. At most, one person left more than one message. Okay, so basically this is telling us that there's no more than one person that left more than one message, right? So if anyone's leaving multiple messages, that's the only person leaving multiple messages. So we can just put a little number 1 here for our rule, just to remind ourselves to look back up at our green rule, which is rule number 1, that says at most one person left more than one message. All right, so now let's go to rule number 2. No person left more than 3 messages. Okay, so if a person is leaving more than one message, then that person is not leaving more than 3 messages, right? So let's say that, if person X is leaving multiple messages, person X will never leave 4 messages, right? So basically, we can write this out as at most there can be 3 messages from the same person, right? Now, let's go to rule number 3. If the first message is Hildy's, the last is Pascal's. All right, simple. We've got if the first message is Hildy. So if Hildy has the first message, then the last message is Pascal's, message number 6, right? So let's go ahead and write our contrapositive. If Pascal does not have the 6th or last message, then Hildy does not have the first message. Okay, rule number 4. If Greta left any message, Flor and Pascal did also. All right, so we have if Greta left a message, so we don't even know, which numbered message. If Greta's leaving a message, then Flor and Pascal also are leaving a message. Okay, so our contrapositive, remember when we switch an and to the contrapositive, it becomes an or. So we're going to say, if Flor did not leave a message, or if Pascal did not leave a message, then Greta did not leave a message. All right? Now let's go to rule number 5. If Flor left any message, Pascal and Theodore did also, all of Pascal's preceding any of Theodore's. All right, so it's a little bit of a hefty rule, but we've got if Flor left any message, then Pascal and Theodore did also, keeping in mind that all of Pascal's are going to precede any of Theodore's. So we can know that all of Pascal's are going to precede Theodore's. And let's write our contrapositive. If Pascal did not leave a message, or if Theodore did not leave a message, then Flor did not leave a message. Now let's go to our last rule. We've got rule number 6. If Pascal left any message, Hildy and Liam did also. All of Hildy's preceding any of Liam's. So similar, we've got if Pascal leaves any message, then Hildy and Liam do as well, keeping in mind the order that all of Hildy's are going to come before Liam's. Contrapositive, if Hildy is not going to leave a message, or if Liam does not leave a message, then Pascal does not leave a message. Sound good? Okay, so I think one thing that's helpful with all these linear rules is to show what the largest chain is so that you can follow it easily visually whenever we're going through the questions. So let's take rule number 4, for example. We see that if Greta is going to leave a message, then we know that Flor and Pascal are going to leave a message. Now, we know from rule number 5 that if Flor leaves a message, then Pascal and Theodore are going to leave a message with that order of Pascal preceding Theodore. So we can kind of show here if Flor is leaving a message, then we have Pascal and Theodore, keeping in mind that Pascal comes before Theodore. Okay, now we also know from rule number 6 that if Pascal is leaving a message, then Hildy and Liam are leaving a message, with this order of Hildy coming before Liam. So what does that tell us? That tells us that Greta is leaving a message. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people leaving a message. So Greta leaving a message on this answering machine makes sure that there are 5 other people leaving a message on the answering machine. So that makes it Greta 1, Flor 2, Pascal 3, Theodore 4, Hildy 5, and Liam 6. And as you can see, there are 6 spots, meaning that if Greta is going to leave a message, then no one's repeating anything because there's only 6 spots, and Greta kind of initiates this large chain of events. All right, so that's something that you want to keep in mind. Now, on the other end, we know that there's a large chain of contrapositives, so if someone is not leaving a message, a lot of things happen as well. So let's go ahead and write that down. We know that from rule 6 that if Hildy does not leave a message, or if Liam does not leave a message, then Pascal does not leave a message. And then we can see from rule number 4, if Pascal does not leave a message, then we can see from rule number 5 that if Pascal does not leave a message, then Flor does not leave a message. And we can see from rule number 4 that if Flor doesn't leave a message, then Greta is not going to leave a message. Okay, likewise, if you look at rule number 5 again, we see that if Theodore is not going to leave a message, then that means, again, Flor is not going to leave a message. And then we can connect that to rule number 4. If Flor is not going to leave a message, then Greta is not going to leave a message. Okay, so how is this helping us? Let's look at rule number 2. Rule number 2 is telling us that at most, one person can leave 3 messages, right? And rule number 1 states that at most one person left more than one message. So let's see, what's the minimum amount of people who could have left 6 messages on this answering machine? So looking at rule number 2 and rule number 1 together, the minimum amount, we could have someone leaving 3 messages. Remember, we need to come up with 6 messages, right? So someone could leave 3 messages, and then we can still have one more person, that's 4, another person, that's 5, and another person, that's 6. Meaning that the minimum amount of people to make 6 messages is 4, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that means the minimum amount we can have are 4, and obviously the maximum is 6, so anywhere from 4 to 6 people. Now that means that we can't eliminate more than 2 people on this list because we need at least 4 people. Therefore, if you look at our contrapositive chain, if Hildy or Liam are not going to be leaving messages, then we've got Pascal not leaving a message, Flor not leaving a message, and Greta not leaving a message. So that's going to be a chain of 4 people only leaving 2, and we need at least 4 people leaving messages, all right? So that means that no matter what, Hildy and Liam are always going to be a part of the message-making people, right? Because if they're not in there, too many people are also not going to be making messages. And then also looking at our Theodore chain, we see that if Theodore is not going to make a message, then Flor is not going to leave a message, and Greta is not going to leave a message, which eliminates 3 of our 6 people, leaving us with 3 people, and we need at least 4, right? So that means that Theodore is also always going to be making a message. Now, we don't know exactly which numbered message they're making, but we do know that Hildy, Liam, and Theodore have to be a part of the people who are making these messages happen. Okay? All right, now let's go ahead and hit the questions.